हेलो गाइस। आज हम बेसिक पावरशेल स्क्रिप्टिंग कोर्स मॉड्यूल 3 देखेंगे, जिसमें हम आज पाइपलाइन के बारे में जिक्र करेंगे।
The pipeline in PowerShell is a fundamental feature that allows you to chain multiple commands together, passing the output of one command as the input to the next. This enables you to perform complex operations in a concise and efficient manner. Here's how it works. Objects, not text. Unlike traditional shells that pass text between commands, PowerShell passes objects. Objects are data structures that contain both data and methods or functions to manipulate that data. This allows for more powerful and flexible processing. The pipe operator. The pipe operator, which is represented by the symbol, is the core of the pipeline. It takes the output of the command on its left and sends it as input to the command on its right. Parameter binding. PowerShell automatically tries to figure out how to use the objects passed through the pipeline as input for the next command. It does this by matching the object's properties to the parameters of the command. Semdlet design. Semdlets, which are PowerShell's built-in commands, are designed to be pipeline-friendly. They typically accept input from the pipeline and output objects that can be further processed. Filtering and transformation. The pipeline is commonly used for filtering and transforming data. You can use CMDLets like whereObject to filter objects based on specific criteria and select object to extract specific properties from objects. Example: getChildItem, whereObject, salt, length, GT10MB, select object, name, length. This command does the following. First, getChildItem lists all files and folders in the current directory. Second, whereObject filters the list to include only items larger than 10 MB. And third, selectObject extracts the name and length properties of the remaining items. Benefits of the pipeline efficiency. Avoids creating temporary files or variables. Readability. Makes scripts easier to read and understand. Flexibility allows for complex operations to be built from simpler commands. Reusability. Semdlets can be used in different pipelines for different tasks. In summary, the PowerShell pipeline is a powerful tool that enables you to automate tasks and manipulate data in a flexible and efficient way. PowerShell Basics. Operational usages. The PowerShell scripting language operates by executing a series of PowerShell commands, or even a single one, with each command appearing on a separate line. For the text file to be treated as a PowerShell script, its file name needs to end in PS1 to connote a PowerShell extension. Saving Notepad as PS1 script file. PowerShell can save you a lot of time on Windows admin tasks, but to use it effectively, you need to understand how it works. PowerShell syntax can be a bit daunting for the newcomer, so let's start with the basics of scripts, which are also called PS1 files. A Windows PowerShell script is really nothing more than a simple text file that can be run in either Windows PowerShell or Windows PowerShell ISE. The PowerShell scripting language operates by executing a series of PowerShell commands, or a single one, with each command appearing on a separate line. For the text file to be treated as a PowerShell script, its file name needs to end in .ps1 to connote a PowerShell extension. The simplest, most basic PowerShell example is a file called datecheck.ps1, which contains the following entry: getDate. Running this will provide you output similar to the following: Tuesday, May 10th, 2022, 3:20 p.m. How to run PS scripts. For years now, if you wanted to run an executable file from the command line, the practice was to navigate to the file's path and then type the name of the executable file. However, this age-old method doesn't work for PowerShell scripts. If you want to execute a PowerShell script, you will usually have to type the full path along with the file name. For example, to run a script named script ps1, you might type C scripts script ps1. The big exception is that you can execute a script by simply typing its name if the folder containing the script is in your system's path. There is also a shortcut you can use if you are already in the folder containing the script. Instead of typing the script's full path in such a situation, you can enter twice and the script's name. For example, you might type script.ps1. Passing data in the pipeline by value. In PowerShell, passing data through the pipeline by value means that the entire object is passed to the next command as a single value. The receiving command then uses this value as input for one of its parameters. Here's how by-value parameter binding works. To enable by-value binding for a parameter in your function or script, you use the parameter value from pipeline attribute. You can then pipe objects to this function, and the number parameter will receive each object as a whole value. 1, 2, 3, get double. This will output 2, 4, 6. If the type of the piped object doesn't match the parameter type, PowerShell will attempt to convert the object. For instance, if you pipe a string to a parameter expecting an integer, PowerShell will try to convert the string to an integer. You can identify by-value parameters in CMDLets using the getHelp CMDLet. Look for the value from pipeline property in the parameter's description. Example, getHelp getProcess parameter name. This will show that the name parameter of getProcess accepts pipeline input by value. Passing data in the pipeline. By property name. By property name. Parameters that accept input by property name can accept piped objects only when a property of the object has the same name as the parameter. For example, the name parameter of start service can accept objects that have a name property. To list the properties of an object, pipe it to getMember. Today's tasks: pass pipeline objects. You can find more information at https:/learn.microsoft.com/n/training modules/pass pipeline objects. And for getMember, visit https:/www.pdq.com/PowerShell getMember.